I actually feel like I've already done this video in a different dimension. Perhaps it was in the dream realms. Maybe a workshop in Mystery School of Dreamtime, and perhaps I saw you there. And that's why we're reconnecting on this video. Either way, I felt like it was time to make a video for my YouTube on this topic of the dream realms. Because if you are familiar with me, if you are a part of my Instagram family, then you already know I am extremely active in the dream realms and meet people and connect with people, help to guide people, which I'll also share more of as we continue to get into the video. And if you are new to this channel, welcome to the Activation Vibration. My name is Heather. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. If you already know who we are, what we do in here, then welcome back. I love you. And I'm so grateful you're here and resonate on these topics, especially that of the dream realms. Because as tangible as the dream realms are, the topic of dream time and what actually happens in the dream realms is more of an esoteric topic. So you already know we go in there, we kind of all about it. That's kind of what we're here to do. We are bridging the spiritual and the magical and that which is unseen into the tangible physical reality in order to integrate the most harmonious timeline for all. That's just kind of the vibe here. And with that, if you're on this path, then you are most likely interested in the concept of the dream times and the fact that a lot more is going on than we have been told to believe is happening in the dream realms. And as so many are awakening consciously, it is also awakening our subconscious realities. And our subconscious mind actually never sleeps. So whenever we are dreaming, it is constantly awake and existing. Therefore, as we awaken more, we actually have more access to the dream time and experiencing more lucidly within the space, as well as receiving more messages, more information, and remembering more from this space of consciousness. And so the dream realms are another layer of consciousness. They are another dimension. And within this space, we experience realities in which don't happen in this physical reality necessarily. Again, I'll go into why we have some of the dreams that we do, but we experience dreams to clear dynamics and relationships, perhaps toxic things, to complete things, to strengthen relationships, to connect things, to remember things. There are many reasons as to why we have certain dreams, and with that, there are also different layers within dreams, where there are different realms. There is the unconscious realm where often you don't remember those certain dreams. There is the lucid realm where you are consciously able to interact within and be awake essentially within the dream. There are karmic realms where we are completing and clearing certain timelines, dynamics, past, present, future, perhaps even clearing certain subconscious beliefs or fears. And often our subconscious mind is processing within a dream, where perhaps things that we have built up or experienced and not really had time to process in our conscious realities come through to be worked through within our subconscious realms within dream time, to be healed on a deep inner layer within, and thus reflect positively in our external reality. Even if it isn't instant, we often experience many healings as we sleep. And so getting into some of the reasons why we have dreams, sometimes we have certain dreams in order for a certain situation to happen and to experience something in a different dimension so that it doesn't have to happen in this reality. Perhaps there is a certain awareness or an emotion that comes from the result of that situation happening in the dream time and is helpful on a conscious level, yet that certain reality, maybe it's a tragedy, maybe it's something that's not ideal, or maybe it's something that is ideal, maybe that isn't necessarily supposed to happen in that way, yet the emotion and the result of the experience of that, because as we know, dreams can be so real sometimes, is meant to be felt and had and experienced. So know that sometimes we have dreams where it's like these tragedies happen and we're like, oh, this means that this is gonna happen. Not necessarily. It may actually be happening in that way, in that reality, so that you see and perceive in a different way in result of it. And then on the other side of the spectrum, sometimes we do have dreams as premonitions, where we are tapping into something that is to happen in the future, and it's somewhat of a revelation as to prepare. Now these things, when it is something that is to happen, it's usually felt on a deep, deep, deep inner layer, where perhaps you felt it coming or you have seen tangible signs in your reality of it happening, and there is a deep inner knowing. Now this is tricky where it's like, oh, does this mean this is gonna happen? If you are questioning it at all, it's often that it is not that way. If you are questioning it, when you have a deep inner knowing and it's just like, yes, and you trust it and you don't even need to be attached to it, that's often when it's like, okay, my reality is already adjusting in relation to that. That's a premonition. That's usually how you know. And as I mentioned earlier, sometimes our dreams are to clear karma, to complete certain patterns, behaviors, energies, awarenesses, fears, karmas from past lives that need to complete and perhaps are again not necessary to happen in this material reality, but need to energetically karmically complete and therefore take place in the dream realms. Often if you have a dream where you wake up and you're like, I have absolutely no idea what that meant, and I have no idea why I had that, and it was not really ideal, and it was kind of this, but I'm also not really attached to it, often that is a karmic clearing, where it may not really make sense, but somehow on an unconscious, deep soul level, it does, and it felt like it was necessary to happen. And again, in result of these things, we also hold new awarenesses, new energies. So they really are positive perceptions that we can take from even the negative dreams, the things that are not pretty or are scary or not ideal. They always have medicine and messages. So not being too attached to the details of certain dreams, but instead looking from a higher perspective and knowing that our mind will often associate certain people or things out of familiarity, where maybe it has nothing to do with that certain person, but the energy as an archetype in which they hold, that which they represent. So if you are looking to translate your dreams and extract certain messages from them, often it is helpful to do so from an unbiased space where, again, you are not paying attention to the details, but more so the energies and the dynamics, the certain emotions that were evoked from the situations. Often that is where you will find the clear medicine, the clear message that is meant to come through from that dream. And because this is all from our subconscious, we do always intuitively, innately know the meaning. You do know the meaning. You already have the answers. The questions couldn't even be asked if you didn't already somehow know there was an answer and know the answer. So don't allow for yourself to get sidetracked. Always coming back to the core meaning, the core resonance, and the unwavering truth behind and within it all. Dreamtime and the dream realms can also reveal a certain subconscious belief or fear that you may have, where you see certain dynamics and situations play out in a certain way to evoke an awareness of a fear that you may have. You are also able to pick up on other subconscious beliefs and thoughts of others that you are deeply connected to, especially those who you are sleeping next to. It is such an intimate thing to sleep next to someone because, again, our energies are not just from our bodies and our consciousness. Our auric field actually extends far beyond us. So when we are sleeping in the same place with someone, in a way, we are essentially sharing dream time with them. So not being attached to your dreams, and again, knowing that you may be picking up on something that isn't even actually yours, but again, always has a message for you. And now if you are lucidly, consciously creating in the dream realms, then you are picking up on messages that are meant to be remembered. That which you experience when you are able to interact with and take action and consciously move within the dream realms, what you experience, the little things that you pick up on, those are all messages for you. And now you can attune to a state to where you are consciously able to lucidly dream. It does take practice. It's also natural to some people, but being able to do this is really special because, again, the dream realms are an unconscious space. So being able to be lucid and conscious within that space connects so many dimensions and layers and levels of reality, and again, can be utilized as a channel to bring through certain messages and information. And within the dream realms, there is also a mystery school where we go to consciously and subconsciously. You don't have to be a lucid dreamer in order to visit this space. You are often guided to this space, and sometimes you don't even remember, but you have an inkling that you learned something or went to some space. Often when you feel this way, you have gone to the Dream Realm Mystery School, where we go to remember ancient encoded wisdom. We learn the Akashic records, we tap into our psychic abilities, and we also help to assist the ascension from this space. there's also a layer, a dimension within the dream realms in which we are consciously assisting the ascension. We are helping people to raise their vibration. We are helping to guide, to heal, to help, to assist within the dream realms. And it is planting a seed within the subconscious of those who are also dreaming and raising their frequency to activate them on a conscious level. This is so major and so big, and this is like one of the main reasons why I even wanted to make this video, because this is like one of my favorite spaces, and I have experienced so much conscious and unconscious phenomena in this space where it has happened multiple times for me, where I wake up and I will receive like 10 to 30 messages in one day within like a span of hours saying, Heather, you visited me in my dreams last night. And those mornings I will have woken up just feeling like I went and visited somewhere. Like I remember all of these different things, but I don't have the clear details as to who I was with or who I experienced, but I know what happened. I know the energies. I received the messages, the medicines from those certain dynamics. And again, this is so crazy because it will happen all at the same time, where everyone will message me and reach out to me. And again, these are just the people that happen to reach out to me saying, you visited me last night. Where it's like, okay, there was a grand convergence in the dream realms, perhaps a concert or a festival or a mystery school workshop. Whatever it was is actually based on everyone individually, and everyone received what they were meant to receive from the experience. But yes, I feel like it just goes to show and to attest to the power and the true presence of the dream realms, where these experiences that they mention are not just like, I saw you and it was cool. It's often like, no, there was someone trying to attack me and you were helping me, or I was doubting myself, or something happened with my father and you reminded me, you were supporting me, or I was looking for you, or this happened and I had this awareness. There are always things that have specific messages and meanings, and therefore influence physical reality, our conscious minds. And I feel like this is possible because I do intentional work within the dream realms, where I not only sleep a lot, like 8 to 12 hours a day, but I'm also setting intentions and doing things to align myself to a meditative trance state before I go to sleep. And also writing my dreams down in the rising when I wake up so that I can remember them, and often they will piece together throughout the day if I do choose to do that. And really with this, we are just tapping into this unconscious, this subconscious space within our minds, which again, we spend an average of 6 years, I probably spend more than that for sure actually, of our life in dream time. So imagine the connection and the remembrance and also the manifestation ability that is able to come from that space. Because as we are dreaming, we are also manifesting. Because dreamtime activates our subconscious mind, it also recharges our creativity, our imagination. Therefore, if you are consciously setting intentions before you go to sleep, it plants seeds so that you subconsciously manifest and feed and enlighten those realities, whether you remember that you're doing it or not. It's a thing. So yes, I hope this helped to explain some things, and I am so grateful to have connected with you. If we have connected in the dream realms, I love you. Thank you for meeting me on that frequency. I truly find it so magical. It is like beyond words. I can only explain it. Maybe I'll do so in the dream realms. I'm curious, what kind of dreams do you experience? What do you experience in your dream time? Do you remember your dreams? Do you have revelations that influence your reality often? Or do you never remember your dreams? Share it in the comments below. I'm so curious. And as always, I'm sending you infinite blessings. And so it is.